more for you, you feel it. You know it. This is your life, and it's time to go from contender to champion. This is The Show with John Madsen.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. I'm your host, John Madsen. This is The Show. Thanks again for all of your support. If you like or love this show, please go to iTunes and leave a review. If you think I deserve it, 5 stars are always great. If you don't, that's okay too. I just want feedback. I hope this show resonates with you in some way, shape, or form. And I just wanted to take a moment to thank all you listeners. I don't do ads. The only thing that I will pump on this show is my own consulting business. If you are interested, go to www.athleticafceo.com, and there's a free 12-minute video that will unlock your potential and help you get to that next level, the ultimate level of fitness and mindset. I'm not interested in going half of the way. So if you want to drop 5 pounds or 10 pounds or, just want to lose a little bit of weight, do not go to that website because I cannot help you. The only clients that I will work with are ones that want to be elite and go somewhere that they've never been before. So if that's you, athleticafceo.com. And we're going to talk a little bit about that today. Today, I'm going to share what I call the 4D formula that will absolutely guarantee success if you have these 4 ingredients, all of which start with D. I like to use examples like this because they're easy to remember, but this is one of those episodes. If you're driving, if you're walking, make sure that you have some place to take a little bit of note just to jot these D's down, because I want you to always think about this. I've been on this track lately where it kind of goes against the grain of traditional motivation, traditional gurus. You'll hear professional athletes or entrepreneurs speak about things, and it's the way I used to speak, but I have this evolved understanding of, or body of knowledge that I've kind of tapped into when I took this deep dive into mindset. And I really have a clear message right now when I speak to my own clients and when I speak to complete strangers. And I think you're going to resonate with this because the old message to me is like putting the cart before the horse. The old message is that of dedication, is that of commitment, is that of questioning commitment level when you don't do the work. And so you see these top entrepreneurs, you see these business people that make 100 million or 50 million, whoever you look up to, maybe 1 million. You see these fitness people and you're sitting there and you're on your own journey and you're not hitting your meal plan the right way, or you're not hitting your macros the right way, or you miss the gym. And then the message is always like, you're not dedicated. You're just not dedicated enough. And so you question your own dedication. You question your own commitment. And you start to think, if I was just like John a little bit, if I had that commitment, I would get the result. And that makes sense. That is true. But you're missing the whole first part. And that first part is what I'm going to talk about today. There's 4 Ds that'll guarantee success, and it's going to put you on the right track, not the one where it's like, I call one track the push track. It's the grind. It's that commitment. It's that battling of your willpower. It's the hard. And then I have this other track that I've really been tapping into lately in my own life, and I really, really help my clients. If you ever listen to any of their testimonials, and I have some on Instagram, they all say similar stuff. It's almost as if they feel like getting the result that they can never get before is easy this time, with almost this effortless flow. And my life has taken an ascension over the past 12 months, and it's felt effortless. And I want to share with you a little bit and contextualize it so that you can think about this for your own life. Because on one hand, you have this push method, which is grind, 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 battle your willpower. I'm committed as fuck. I'm dedicated. I'm the toughest motherfucker on the planet, and blah, blah, blah. Okay? And you have people spitting that message. You have bad coaches spitting that message. You have people with good intentions spitting that message. And that message is going to hurt most people because what they're leaving out of the story, and this is easy to do because if I think about my own story, I think about wanting to share the grind, wanting to share the hardship. I shared the story of me feeling like I was an underdog. I wanted people to know that I was committed, man, because I feel that just gives you a sense of accomplishment. I'm committed. I'm dedicated. Look what I had to do to get where I am. You need to go through that process too. But here's the thing. If I tell that story as it is, I'm leaving out the fact that from the time I was 5 years old, all I ever wanted to do was be a professional athlete. The time I was 5 years old, I had this desire that was just like this seduction that would seduce me into doing whatever it took to get what I wanted, which was be a professional athlete. So the practices, whether it was 110 degrees outside or whether it was -10, did not fucking matter. I was going to practice. I wanted to go to practice because I wanted to improve. Going to the weight room and working with my trainer who made me throw up every goddamn time was something that I wanted to do because I felt like I was getting better than all of my friends. Some people will tell this story and they'll tell it. And I used to tell this story and I wish I would have understood this previously. Some people tell this story and I told this story about how committed I was. And I'd speak in front of groups of people and I'd tell them commitment and discipline. And I'd spit that message and I'm like, it took me all this time to realize that that was putting the cart before the horse. What I needed to tell them and what I'm going to tell you today is that desire, okay, that seduction was so strong that I was going to inevitably do whatever it took. A bad example of this is like the alcoholic or the drug addict. They're so seduced by this drug or this alcohol that it doesn't matter that if they're out on the street, they've burned every bridge that they've ever had with their family. They don't talk to their family. They're homeless. They're whatever. If we take it to the extreme, they have no money, but somehow, some way, they're going to find the alcohol. Somehow, some way. They will scorch the earth to find it. That desire in a negative way, that seduction in a negative way, is going to take them to do whatever the fuck it takes to get what they want so badly. Okay? And so let's talk about this in a more positive sense, in the sense of your dreams, your goals, your pursuit. Up until this point, you've been hearing people speak on stages, speak on podcasts, and they just want to hammer you for your lack of commitment and your lack of dedication, your lack of discipline. I'm going to share with you 4 Ds that are it's either going to ensure your success in this pursuit of whatever goal that you have right now, or you're going to realize that you're on the wrong track. You're on the wrong track and you're chasing something that you're not ever going to ultimately catch because you don't have these 4 Ds in place. So let's go through them. Number 1, I just talked about it. Number 1 is desire. And I'm not just going to say desire. I'm going to say burning fucking desire. It's got to be burning. It's got to be that seduction. It's got to seduce you, right? It's got to be there, because if you don't want it, you're not going to do what it takes. If you want it, you're going to do whatever it takes. It starts and ends almost here. I could end right here, but I'm going to give you 3 more. That desire for the thing. When I was 5 years old, all I wanted to do was be a professional athlete. Practice then, even if it was hard, even if it was hot, even if it was freezing cold, no matter what, I would show up because I wanted it. I wanted it. If you don't want it, you're not going to do that. If you don't want it, you're going to find it's hard to be dedicated. It's going to be hard, right? If you want it, it might be hard, but it doesn't matter. This is where I read books and I resonate with David Goggins, man. I resonate with that just willed. And I'm like, man, that guy was the most committed, dedicated motherfucker on the planet. And then I realized something. I was like, he wanted to be the toughest motherfucker on the planet. He had something to prove to himself. That desire, that seduction it was before the commitment. He had that desire. I don't have that desire to be him, so I'm not going to do that shit. I'm not going to run marathons. I'm not going to run 5Ks. I'm not going to run 10Ks. I have no desire for that. I have none. And if I have none desire, if I tried to get myself to run a fucking marathon, I probably could do it one time and I'd be miserable. Or I probably would, or the possibility of me failing is great because halfway through I might quit, right? That's why people who make these dumbass goals for things that they don't even want to just prove something to themselves is a really bad place. It's a bad play because the chances of failure are great. And the more you fail, the less confidence you have. I have no desire to run a fucking marathon. Zero. You won't find me training for one. Okay? That has nothing to do with dedication or commitment or toughness. That has me knowing that I have no desire to do it. Therefore, I'm not going to play there. Okay? So the very first thing is desire, burning, seductive desire. Number 2, second thing that comes after that desire is the decision. The fucking decision. Okay, if you have the desire, the next logical thing that can happen is for you to make the decision that you're going to do it, that you're going to go for it, that you're going to give it your all. It should be easy at this point because the desire is so great. If you can't make a decision on something, chances are the desire is missing, right? If you cannot decide, the desire is not strong enough. That desire will cause you to make decisions fast. And swift decisions, right? Swift decisions is what it's going to take for successful people. They decide who they're going to be. They decide what they decide exactly what they're going to do. And they go. So we have this desire. The next step is making that decision quickly. The third one, and this one is hard, guys. This one, I might get to this. I might say this, and you might be driving down the road and it's going to fucking hit you like my fist came through your speakers. Deserve it. Deserve it. If you don't feel like you deserve it, if there's a part of you that feels like you don't deserve it, this is where your dreams are going to end. That desire can be super strong. But you're always going to come up short if you don't feel like you deserve it. If you don't feel like you deserve it, you might get close, and then that self-sabotage is going to work its way in. It's going to come out of that unconscious, and that sabotage is going to fuck you up, man. I battled this for a long time. I didn't believe that I deserved ultimate success. And the reason I didn't believe that I deserved ultimate success was because of past mistakes. Because I made decisions that I wasn't proud of. I felt like I should get punished. And I know some of you people right now are just like, might have chills thinking about it because you're like, fuck, that's that voice. I don't deserve it. And if you don't feel like you deserve it, man, you have to do that work. You have to feel deserving. You have to deserve it. I can do a whole podcast on how to do that. I'm not going to get into it because it's not the topic of this show. I could go tangent here, but I'm going to try to stay here. The deserve it. This third step in the 4Ds is fucking important. Because if you don't feel like you deserve it, self-sabotage is going to mess you up. You're never going to get there. You have to feel like you deserve it, right? And if I take my own story and getting to the professional ranks, like I felt like I deserved it. Okay. I felt like I deserved it, but this is a spectrum too. This is not like I don't always, or I do sometimes. It's like when I got to the top, I didn't know if I deserved the top. You know what I mean? The Hall of Fame, the All Pro, the top. I was there. I was in the show. I made it to the show, damn it. But I didn't feel that I deserved the top. I had to do the work. I had to do the work. I had to do this mindset work. And this is why I've done this work, because I wanted to know why. I wanted to know why I came up a little short. After that, there were some decisions that I made in my life where I really, really felt like I should get punished. And so every time something would go good in my business, I'd come crashing down. That sabotage internally, I would burn that shit to the ground. If that's you, consider that there's this underlying belief that you don't deserve it. And I can tell you that's a bullshit belief. We all deserve all the good that this world has to offer. Number 4, dedication. Finally, we get to dedication. You see, all of the other gurus and coaches, and especially in fitness, they're going to start with dedication. They're going to start with commitment. If you come to your coach and you fuck up your meal plan or you miss a workout, they're just going to be like, you're not dedicated, man. You're not dedicated. All you have to do is become dedicated and committed, and you're going to win, right? And you see how this message is weird, because the same people, like if I'm coaching, if I look at all of my personal coaching clients, if there's a person that struggles, it's this continuous thing that they just can't do the thing that they know they need to do, right? And so we can talk about being dedicated and being disciplined and get them all fired up for 2 seconds on a speech about how all the greats are disciplined, and they'll get fired up and motivated for a second. But then inevitably that falls apart again and again and again. And at the real root of the problem, they don't have that seduction. They don't have that desire. They're not seduced by what they want. It doesn't get them up in the morning. It doesn't pull them to do whatever it takes, because that desire is going to make it's going to make the dedication part easy. It's going to make the discipline part easy. Think about that. I've smashed this on the last couple episodes, and I do it on purpose because I need it to seep into you. Because if you want that next level, it's there. What's possible for one is possible for all. If it's possible for me, it's possible for you. But you have to get your belief system right. You have to be aware of where you're at. You have to understand exactly what you desire. And so I wanted to give you this 4D formula to maybe just have you think about the 2 different tracks. You can play on this discipline and commitment track all you want. You can beat yourself up with that all you want. But this other track where you're pulled and you're compelled and you're seduced into doing whatever it takes because you want it so bad, that's an easier track to play on. And these 4Ds are important. Desire, burning desire. Number 2, making the decision to go all the way, making the decision from the start to finish, making the decision to win. Come hell or high water, you're going to win. Decide. Number 3, the big one. Circle this one. Deserve it. Do you believe you deserve it? I can tell you right now that I believe that I deserve every fucking thing on this planet that I want. I've killed that limiting belief inside of me. I had it and I killed it. And as soon as I killed it, I ascended. I deserve it. So do you. And number 4, then and only then we can talk about dedication. But at that point, it should be pretty fucking easy. At that point, that dedication is automatic. So when I talk about automating stuff, because that's what I do as a coach, I help automate stuff to get you the final result. And that's what the Athletic AF CEO project is all about. The dedication should be easy. That's why men come into this program and fucking win all the time. Because I can put into context and help them extrapolate what they want and give them permission to go for it. But if you don't have that burning desire, I can't help you. That's number 1. That's first and foremost. If I can't help extrapolate that from you, from the depths of your soul, I cannot help you. If you're driving right now and you don't know what you want, you have to figure that shit out. If you like this podcast, please share it. If it resonated with you, screenshot it, send it to me on Instagram. I love to hear from you. If you want me to talk about another topic or go deeper into something, send me a direct message. I reach out to, I try to answer every single person back. It's getting harder as the show is growing, but I still take time to do that. And I appreciate all the comment. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the share, and I appreciate you.
Thank you so much for joining us for another amazing episode of The Show with John Madsen. The greatest compliment that you could give us is liking, loving, and sharing this episode with all of your friends. So please go to iTunes, leave us a 5-star rating and review, and then share it online with everyone that you know. Make sure to tag John as well. He loves to hear from listeners of the show. The links for all of his socials and iTunes are in the show notes. Also, if you'd like to engage John for anything related to his coaching, consulting, or programs, please visit johnmadsen.com for everything you'd need to know on how to engage with John offline. And lastly, thank you for your time, your attention, and your consideration. This is The Show.